You've been carrying a version of yourself that someone else built for you, and today we're going to find out what's underneath it. Stay until the end, because there's a guided meditation waiting that might be the most useful 6 minutes of your week. Here's what we're actually doing in the next few minutes. We're going to look at two surprisingly simple ideas. The first, that you are more than your body, your job title, your stress level, or the story you keep telling about yourself. The second, that you already have a purpose, not one you have to earn or discover on a mountaintop, but one that's quietly yours, whether you feel it today or not. Most of us live our entire lives defined by our limitations, our past, and our roles. We never stop to ask whether those definitions are actually true. Today, we're going to ask. Let me put it this way. Imagine you've been wearing a name tag your whole life. On it, your job, your failures, your fears, your diagnoses, the roles you got handed, the verdicts other people delivered. You've read that name tag so many times you've forgotten it's a name tag at all. You think it's a mirror. You think it's you. This isn't a video about throwing the name tag away. It's about peeling it off long enough to remember what was there before anyone handed it to you. Let me tell you about Sarah. It's Tuesday, around 2 p.m. She's in a meeting she didn't want to be in, listening to feedback on a project she stayed late for 3 weeks straight to finish. The feedback isn't even brutal. It's just pointed, a little dismissive, and she feels her face go warm. Her stomach tightens, her shoulders climb up toward her ears. And within about 10 seconds, something shifts. She's no longer defending a project. She's defending herself. Her competence, her worth, the version of her that has to be good enough, smart enough, valuable enough to be in that room. The meeting ends. She gets in her car, and the drive home is a replay reel. Every word they said, every word she wishes she'd said. By the time she walks through her front door, she's physically home but mentally still in that conference room. Her partner asks how her day was, and she says, fine. Because how do you explain that you're a hostage to a conversation that ended 2 hours ago? If you've ever been Sarah, and I think most of us have been Sarah this week, pay attention to what happened. Someone criticized a project, and her entire identity went on trial. Why? Because the name tag she's been wearing says, I am what I produce. I am what they think of me. I am how well I perform. And when you wear that name tag long enough, every piece of feedback feels like a referendum on your existence. Here's the thing nobody warns us about. We didn't choose most of what's written on that name tag. It got handed to us, by parents, by teachers, by jobs, by a culture that needs us to keep producing. Somewhere along the way, we started confusing the description with the person being described. Your body is part of the name tag. So is your resume. So is the story you tell about why you are the way you are. So are your diagnoses, your patterns, your reactions, your bad days. None of these things are bad. They're just not the whole truth. And because we've worn the name tag so long, when anyone scratches at it, a criticism, a setback, a comparison, it doesn't feel like they're scratching the name tag. It feels like they're scratching you. So you flinch. You defend. You replay it for 3 hours in the car. The exhaustion most of us carry isn't from our work. It's from the full-time job of protecting an identity that was never the whole story to begin with. So here's the first quiet possibility this lesson offers, and I want you to receive it as a practical observation, not a religious claim. What if there's something underneath the name tag that no criticism has ever actually touched? Notice, there's a part of you that has been watching your entire life. It watched you as a child. It watched you through the worst year you ever had. It's watching right now, listening to a stranger's voice on a screen. It hasn't gotten older. It hasn't gotten more anxious. It hasn't been damaged by anything that's happened to you. Call it awareness. Call it the watcher. The Course calls it spirit. The word doesn't matter. What matters is that you can verify this for yourself in about 3 seconds. There is something present in you right now that has never been hurt by anything written on the name tag. In that meeting, Sarah's name tag was getting torn at, but the part of her that was watching the whole thing, untouched, completely intact. It always has been. She just forgot to check. Now here's the second idea, and this is where it gets practical. Most of us are walking around trying to figure out our purpose like it's a treasure hunt. As if somewhere out there is the right career, the right relationship, the right version of ourselves that will finally make us feel like we matter. What if your purpose isn't something you have to find? What if it's already yours, and the only thing required is that you accept it? This sounds abstract until you make it concrete. Your purpose, in any given moment, is to bring something other than fear into the room, to extend a little patience, to not add to the suffering in front of you, to recognize that the person across from you is wearing a name tag too, and they've also forgotten it isn't them. That's it. That's the function. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to qualify for it. You don't even have to feel particularly spiritual to do it. You just have to be willing. And here's what changes when you accept that. Suddenly the meeting isn't about defending your worth anymore. It's about something simpler. You have a role to play, and it's not threatened by anyone's feedback. The criticism can land or not land. Your function is still available to you. Let's go back to Sarah in that meeting. Same Tuesday, same conference room, same critique. But imagine this time, somewhere in the middle of her stomach tightening, a quieter thought arrives. This is uncomfortable, but it isn't touching me. The me that's actually here. And I have something to do in this room that isn't about winning. She still hears the feedback. She still feels the sting, but she's not defending her existence anymore. She's just a person in a room, with a job to do, who happens to be more than the job. The meeting ends. The drive home is quieter, not because nothing happened, but because there's nothing left to replay. The story already ended. She walks through her door, and she's actually there, present, available. Nothing about her circumstances changed. What changed is who was responding to them. This is the relief most of us are actually looking for. We think we want our circumstances to get easier. What we actually want is to stop arguing with our own lives from the wrong starting point. The name tag can go back on. You still have a job, a body, a history, a personality. None of that disappears, but now you know, quietly, in the background, that it isn't the whole truth about you. And you have something to do that doesn't depend on the name tag being polished and intact. That's the shift. Not a new belief system. Not a personality transplant. Just a small, repeated remembering, there's more here than the description. And there's a purpose available that nobody can take from me. Let's take a few minutes now to let that actually settle in the body. Because reading about it isn't the same as feeling it. So let's feel it, before we move into the meditation. If this is helping you, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe. It's a simple way to keep practicing together. Let's take a few minutes for ourselves. Find a position where your body can be still. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. There's nothing you have to do here. Take one breath in through the nose. And let it out slowly. Another breath. A little deeper this time. And release. One more, and let everything you were carrying into this moment just rest on the floor for now. It will still be there later if you want it back. Notice where you are. The weight of your body. The sounds around you, the temperature of the air. You don't have to change any of it, just let it be here. Now notice something else. Something quieter. There is a part of you that is aware of all of this. Aware of the breath. Aware of the sounds. Aware of the small thoughts moving through. That awareness has been here your whole life. It was here when you were 5 years old. It was here on your hardest day. It is here right now. It hasn't been damaged by anything. It doesn't need to be fixed. It doesn't need to perform. Let yourself rest in that for a moment. If the name tag comes to mind, the roles, the worries, the version of you the world expects, just notice it. You don't have to take it off. You don't have to defend it. Just see that it isn't the thing that's watching. Breathe in, breathe out. Let this be enough. You don't have to be anyone right now. You don't have to earn this moment. You're already here. And the part of you that's here was never the problem. Feel the quiet underneath the thinking. Even if it's just a sliver, even if it comes and goes. And if a small sense of purpose wants to arrive, not a big plan, just a soft willingness to bring something gentle into your next hour, let it. Nothing to prove. Nothing to fix. Just this. Take one more slow breath. And when you're ready, let your eyes open. Bring this quiet with you. It belongs to you. It always did. Thank you for practicing with us today. If you'd like, there's a link to a free digital copy of ACIM in the description. And if this video resonated with you, please comment. I am grateful. Thank you for spending this time here. Whatever you came in carrying today, I hope a little of it feels lighter now. Be gentle with yourself this week. The name tag will still be there when you need it. And so will the part of you that knows it isn't the whole story. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next time.